Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the JWO wrestling channel, and today I'll be giving my thoughts on Survivor Series War Games. It happened last night, or the night before, depending on when this is uploaded. But yeah, let's go on with it. First off, starting with the women's War Games match, it was yeah, it was decent, you know. It had a decent amount of time for everyone to get shown off. Some nice spots, like Kairi Sane becoming a bin, and again, not Kairi Sane, Io Sky. My bad. Oh, I've not had a lot of sleep since Survivor Series. No, but Io Sky becoming a bin again and diving onto everyone. Someone actually dodging Asuka's mist. You know, it only took about like 3 years, but they finally figured out that she will spit at you. He just used a fire extinguisher. It was quite funny. Yeah, nice bit. Dakota Kai getting involved quite a bit, which was cool to see. Actual like outside interference in a War Games. But yeah, it's a very fun match. And interesting enough, Damage Control losing. I honestly thought they were going to win. But, come to think of it, them losing does help further everyone questioning Bayley's competence. Yeah, Becky Lynch with a manhandle slam through a table on Bayley, getting the win. Which was, yeah, quite cool. Anyway, moving on. Next match. Gunther versus The Miz. It's probably the best match The Miz has had in a while. And that's mainly because it was against Gunther. Yeah. To be fair, all the single matches on this show could have probably happened on Raw or SmackDown. But you did need to fill out a pay-per-view, so... Yeah, no, it was decent. It was a pretty decent match. A lot more, oh, what's the word? Technical side of The Miz. It's a lot more wrestling. Whereas, normally it's more like character stuff and taunting. But this match is more like serious wrestling. Which was nice to see. Nice change of pace. Gunther getting a win. As he should. He should hold that belt forever. Until he decides that he just wants more belts. Because he's great. And he slaps people very hard. He did that to The Miz and it was quite funny. Yeah. Anyway. Next up. See this again. This could have been on SmackDown. And it was mainly to build up to Santos Escobar versus, well, Carlito, and then Rey Mysterio, because they're just waiting until Rey Mysterio is no longer injured. But yeah, again, it was a fun match. You know, I mean, again, it could have just been a SmackDown match. It was quite short. They only went like 7 minutes. Yeah, decent 7 minutes. Santos getting the win. Obviously just building towards that Rey Mysterio match later down the road. Anyway, I know it's the wrong belt, but shut up. Rhea Ripley and Zoe Stark. I'm going to sound like a broken record. Again, could have been on Raw. It was it was a decent display. It was a very obvious winner here. I'd say all of these matches, except maybe the men's War Games and possibly the women's War Games, had like very obvious winners. But this one was like the most obvious because there was like no build to it. Zoe Stark just won a battle royal, and then that was it really. But yeah, Rhea Ripley won and retained. as she should. So restart. Decent display again, but you know, not just quite there yet in regards to having to carry the division and that title. But yeah, Rhea Ripley won. Next up, the men's War Games, the main event. Would like to note that because 2K just doesn't, you can't have 10-man matches. So, and there was 5 men on each team, so it's a 10-man match. So we are missing Dominic Mysterio and Sami Zayn from each team. Yeah, this was, I'd say, match of the night. It was, well, to be fair, both War Games were quite good, but I think the setup for this one was a lot better. Oh yeah, I should mention, there was a story throughout the whole night asking whether Randy Orton will just show up at all, because he just wasn't there for some reason, even though he said he was. And then it was time for him to enter War Games, but he wasn't there. And they're like, oh, what's going to happen? And then Rhea Ripley came out with the Money in the Bank, and we were like, oh, okay. And then she went to cash in, and then Randy Orton came out, and then he didn't do much because he's still trying to not paralyse himself. But yeah, it was a decent match. Very cool bit at the end with JD McDonough getting RKO'd off the top of the War Games. I say this, he just kind of got thrown, and then Randy Orton just kind of caught him in it, like millimetres off the ground. It was quite funny. It was more of JD McDonough just face planting the floor. And then Cody Rhodes pinning Damian Priest, which was interesting. I mean, unless they're going to build it off of it in the story, I don't see why pin Damian Priest. Especially when you've just killed JD McDonough and Dominic Mysterio's there, but I don't know. They could do something cool with it. But yeah. But the real thing everyone wanted to talk about, I just had to set this up as a match because it's the only way of getting this to work. But CM Punk showed up for the first time in nearly 10 years. I was a little excited, I can't lie. It was quite cool. It was, they tried to trick you, because they put all our copyright stuff come up, and we're going to zoom out, we're going to be like, thank you all for watching, and then Cult of Personality hit, and I was like, oh my days. And then CM Punk came out, and then he stood on the stage, and then it just ended. He didn't interact with any, well, he technically did, I'll get onto that in a sec, but he was at the top of the stage, and then the feed just went, it cut, and then it just showed the replay of the night, and I was like, what? I mean, cool, great, but what? Also, he went at the press conference, which means I watched an entire press conference for no reason. I know why he went at the press conference, because we all know what happened last time. But, yeah. It's very cool having that back. But, oh, it's all kicking off already, isn't it? Because Seth Rollins, although apparently afterwards it's come out that this is all to set up a story, which is going to be cool. And CM Punk should beat him for the belt. I don't care. Seth Rollins started giving it on the ramp, shouting obscenities. The foulest of languages. I was shocked personally. I was like, oh, he can't say that, can he? I was like, hold on, the cameras aren't on, he can say whatever he wants. Insane. But then for some reason, Drew McIntyre was fuming. And then he just stormed backstage, like, Just slammed his locker room door, started shouting and all that, whacked on a hoodie, and then just left. It's like, what? Why are you angry? Is it because you've now got like nothing to do except feud with JWO until like the Rumble? Yeah. So it's all kicking off, but CM Punk's back. And he better kick. I'm not watching a full night of Monday Night Raw. He best start the show so I can just watch his bit and go to sleep, because it starts at 1 in the morning and it's very tiring. But yeah, anyway, that's so my review of Survivor Series. Overall, I'd say, yeah, it was alright. I mean, the ending of it definitely was worth watching. It's a decent show, some decent matches, but you know, most of it was just filler. Realistically, all of it bar the 2 War Games was just filler to get to CM Punk. Oh, I haven't obviously CM Punk wins, but yeah, very good. I'd say a solid 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 seems fair. Not great, not bad, pretty good. Yeah, so that's been my review. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you again next time. So ciao.